We're going to go ahead and take you back out live along I-49 here in Springdale. We've been covering this accident this morning. They got one lane open there because of the road conditions. This happened a little over an hour ago, Stephen. Messy conditions with 3 wrecks going on right now on I-49.
Yeah, those 3 wrecks very isolated to Benton County this morning. We will never know whether it was completely dedicated to the winter weather that we have, but certainly playing a factor out in the travel this morning across Benton County. Again, the good news is for folks just south of Benton and Carroll County is that for the most part, we've stayed just above that freezing point. So it's just been that cold rainfall. Unfortunately, those that are in extreme parts of northwest Arkansas all morning long, it's been that wintry mix, and it's going to continue like that at least for the next hour. But we're starting to finally see this main part of the system push off towards the east, and we'll just be left with some scattered showers here and there. Now, of course, those scattered showers further up north would come in the way of some additional snowflakes, some additional sleet further down south, especially south of I-40. That's where it would come in the way of just some of those scattered rain showers. Let's take a look across northwest Arkansas, right at that freezing point there in Bentonville. That's why we're still seeing that true wintry mix when it comes to a little bit of snow, when it comes to a little bit of that sleet, when it comes to a little bit of that freezing rain. Road conditions in and around Benton County, not ideal right now. If you do have to head out, be cautious out there. More than likely, you're going to run into some traffic. You're going to run into some slow conditions out there just due to the road conditions. Now, once you get further towards the east, Madison, Carroll County got that true mix as well. We're a little bit cooler in some higher elevation, and that's where you start to see some of that freezing rain, some of that snow coming down as well in parts of Carroll County and Madison County. Washington County, the good news is so far, most of it has just been that cold rainfall. But if we drop a few degrees still this morning, we could still see a little bit of that wintry mix just because it looks like most of Washington County has been that cold rainfall. I do not want to rule out any of those slick spots, especially as you work further south towards the tunnel. Some higher elevation, those bridges and overpasses can become very slick very fast. Across the river valley, so far it's been good news for us this morning. Most of that system bringing the heavy rainfall is pushing off towards the east. Fort Smith, Sallisaw, Waldron, already starting to see most of that rainfall done outside of a few scattered showers here and there. Ozark, Clarksville, Boonville, still some of that heavier rainfall, but well above the freezing point, so we're not dealing with any type of that wintry precipitation. When it comes to that winter weather advisory till 3 p.m. this afternoon across northwest Arkansas, hyper focusing on Benton County as the worst spot to be this morning. When it comes to the ice accumulation, don't expect much this morning across northwest Arkansas, but just enough to cause a lot of those slick spots. Not a lot of accumulation, more than likely just a thin glaze, but that's just enough to cause a lot of those slowdowns out there this morning. When it comes to the snowfall, you've been seeing the images out there so far this morning. It's not a lot, but generally a dusting up to an inch is what our final totals could be. When we look at the timeline, this is some good news for us. It continues throughout the morning commute hours, but we already saw towards the west, it's already starting to lighten up just a bit. More than likely just those scattered showers throughout the mid-morning hours and definitely into the afternoon. But like Dave Parker mentioned earlier, this evening, overnight into tomorrow, a lot of cold air is going to rush in. Wind chill values for your Thursday morning starting off into the single digits and some teens. If those roadways don't dry throughout the day, we could definitely see some refreeze overnight tonight. Here's a look at that weather impact alert. What you need to know this morning: freezing rain, snowflakes coming down northwest Arkansas. Please allow yourself some extra time if you are in northwest Arkansas this morning. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast weather impact alert for us today. Again, tomorrow morning. Now the concern would be is if we get any refreeze overnight tonight for your Thursday morning commute. RDOT crews doing a great job this morning trying to treat those roads ahead of that system moving out, but then freezing this evening. We get to briefly warm up going into Friday and Saturday before that next system comes along going into the start of the weekend, mainly looking like another round of some cold rainfall, but we cannot rule out a few snowflakes trying to mix in there Saturday night going into Sunday as temperatures plummet once again. We are still in winter, and we've got multiple more systems to talk about, not only potentially as soon as this weekend, but also going into next week as well. Early signs showing that we could be in another round of some winter precipitation.
We're not done yet, folks.
The adults aren't loving it, but the kids sure are getting out of school, right?
More snow days.
Yeah.